The crucifixion of Jesus Christ, a pivotal moment in human history, echoed through the ages. Its impact on the course of civilization is immeasurable, forever shaping the beliefs of billions. But what of those who played a role in this momentous event? History remembers their deeds, but their fates often remain shrouded in shadow and speculation. Join us now as we delve into the annals of time, seeking to uncover the untold fates of those bound to this epoch-defining event. Their stories, often overlooked, offer a glimpse into the aftermath of one of history's most profound tragedies. Pontius Pilate, the Roman prefect of Judea, held the fate of Jesus in his hands. Torn between his own judgment and the demands of the crowd, he chose to appease the masses. Washing his hands of the matter, he condemned an innocent man to death, perhaps hoping to quell the unrest that threatened his rule. But could such a momentous decision truly be absolved? Little did Pilate know that his decision would seal his own fate, casting a long shadow that would follow him to his grave. The consequences of his actions, like ripples in a pond, would spread far beyond that fateful day. Years passed, and Pilate, once a powerful figure in the Roman Empire, found himself increasingly isolated. His political maneuvering and harsh tactics, once tolerated, began to draw scrutiny from Rome. Accusations of cruelty and corruption mounted, whispers of his role in the crucifixion reaching the ears of Emperor Caligula. The man who once held the power of life and death now faced an uncertain future. The once mighty prefect, stripped of his authority, was recalled to Rome. His journey, once a procession of power, was now one of fear and uncertainty, a stark contrast to his former glory. The exact circumstances of Pilate's death remain shrouded in mystery, a fitting end for a man whose life was marked by shadows and ambiguity. Some accounts speak of exile, others of suicide, forced upon him by a guilt-ridden conscience. Did he find peace in his final moments, or was he haunted by the spectre of the man he condemned to die? The historical record remains tantalizingly silent, leaving us to ponder the true weight of his actions. Pilate's story serves as a reminder that even those in positions of great power are not immune to the consequences of their choices. His fate, forever intertwined with that of Jesus, stands as a cautionary tale for all time. Caiaphas, the high priest of the temple in Jerusalem, saw Jesus as a threat to his authority, a disruptor of the established order. Driven by a desire to maintain control, he conspired to eliminate this perceived threat to his power. Using his influence over the Sanhedrin, the Jewish council, he manipulated events, ultimately leading to Jesus' arrest and condemnation. His actions, fueled by fear and a lust for power, would have devastating consequences. Believing he had secured his position, Caiaphas could not foresee the storm he had unleashed. The execution of Jesus, far from quelling dissent, ignited a firestorm of faith and resistance that would forever alter the religious landscape. The aftermath of the crucifixion saw a surge in the popularity of Jesus' teachings. What began as a small group of followers rapidly grew into a movement spreading throughout Judea and beyond. Caiaphas, witnessing the unintended consequences of his actions, found himself facing a new challenge, a burgeoning faith that threatened to undermine his authority and dismantle the structures he had fought so hard to maintain. The high priest's attempts to suppress this nascent religion proved futile. His words, once heeded with respect and deference, now fell on deaf ears, drowned out by the growing chorus of those who believed in Jesus' message. As the years passed, Caiaphas' influence waned. His political maneuvering and attempts to discredit the followers of Jesus only served to further erode his standing among the people. Stripped of his power and ostracized by those he had sought to control, Caiaphas met an ignominious end. The once powerful high priest, now a shadow of his former self, faded into obscurity. The tragic fate of Caiaphas stands as a stark reminder that power, no matter how absolute it may seem, is ultimately fleeting. His story, woven into the tapestry of history, serves as a cautionary tale about the corrupting influence of fear and the pursuit of power at all costs. The bustling marketplace, a tapestry of vibrant life and commerce. It was here, amidst the clamor and chaos, that Judas Iscariot sealed his place in history. 30 pieces of silver, the price of betrayal, exchanged hands, a chilling transaction in the shadow of the temple. Driven by motives shrouded in mystery, Judas, one of Jesus' own disciples, chose to betray his teacher. Perhaps driven by disillusionment, perhaps by greed, he set in motion a chain of events that would reverberate through the ages. His betrayal was a sharp blade piercing the heart of loyalty. The weight of his actions, the enormity of his decision, would soon begin to press upon him. Little did Judas know, the consequences of his actions would be far more profound than the paltry sum he received. The die was cast. Judas's treacherous act set in motion the wheels of fate. His reward, a hollow victory, turned to ashes in his mouth as the gravity of his betrayal sunk in. The Gospels paint a poignant picture of a man consumed by remorse. Unable to bear the weight of his actions, Judas, the disciple who had walked with Jesus, shared his meals and witnessed his miracles, was now a prisoner of his own guilt. The world around him continued as if nothing had changed, oblivious to the turmoil raging within him. The crowds that had hailed Jesus as a prophet just days before now called for his crucifixion. Judas's betrayal had paved the path for this tragic outcome. The Gospels offer differing accounts of Judas's final moments. Some say he, in a fit of despair, took his own life, unable to live with the consequences of his actions. Others suggest a more accidental demise. Regardless of the exact circumstances, one thing remains clear. Judas's betrayal of Jesus cast a long shadow over his life. His name became synonymous with treachery, a cautionary tale whispered through the ages. The story of Judas Iscariot serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of betrayal. His tale, forever intertwined with that of Jesus, continues to resonate with us, forcing us to confront the duality of human nature and the potential for both good and evil that resides within us all. Herod Antipas, the Tetrarch of Galilee, a man of insatiable curiosity and questionable morals, played a pivotal role in the drama of Jesus' final days. Intrigued by tales of Jesus' miracles and teachings, Herod had long desired a private audience with this enigmatic figure. When Jesus was brought before him, bound and silent, Herod saw not a prophet or a king, but a source of amusement, a novelty to satisfy his idle curiosity. Little did Herod know, this encounter would set in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead to his own downfall. Blinded by his own arrogance, he failed to see the gravity of the situation, dismissing Jesus as a harmless eccentric. His dismissive attitude towards the accusations leveled against Jesus, his mocking, and his ultimate decision to send Jesus back to Pilate would seal his fate. Herod, like so many others who crossed paths with Jesus, would find that their actions had unintended and often devastating consequences. The shadow of the cross, already looming large, would soon engulf Herod's own life, stripping him of his power and casting him into the desolate wilderness of exile. The years following Jesus' crucifixion were tumultuous for Herod. Rumors of his cruelty and decadence reached Rome, fueled by the whispers of his enemies and the growing unrest within his own tetrarchy. Accusations of treason and conspiracy swirled around him like a desert wind, threatening to topple his fragile reign. His own ambitions, fueled by a thirst for power and a desire to expand his territory, proved to be his undoing. He became entangled in a web of intrigue, caught between the machinations of Roman emperors and the ambitions of rival rulers. Every alliance forged seemed to crumble, every victory short-lived. The once proud and powerful tetrarch, now a figure of suspicion and fear, found himself increasingly isolated. His fall from grace was as swift as it was brutal, a stark reminder that even the most cunning and ruthless of rulers are not immune to the capricious whims of fate. In the end, it was the Emperor Caligula who delivered the final blow. Stripped of his title, his lands, and his power, Herod was banished to Gaul, a desolate outpost far from the familiar comforts of his homeland. His wife, Herodias, implicated in his downfall, shared his fate, her own ambitions and schemes ultimately leading to her own ruin. The once opulent palaces, the lavish banquets, the sycophantic courtiers, all faded into distant memory. Herod, now a shadow of his former self, was left to contemplate the wreckage of his life, his legacy forever tarnished by his role in the events surrounding Jesus' death. History remembers Herod Antipas not for his cunning or his cruelty, but for his brief and fateful encounter with Jesus. His story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that the pursuit of power and pleasure can come at a terrible cost. The Roman soldiers, hardened veterans of countless campaigns, were merely instruments of an empire, cogs in a vast and unforgiving machine. Tasked with carrying out the orders of their superiors, they approached the crucifixion of Jesus with a detached professionalism, their faces betraying little emotion as they went about their grim duty. They were accustomed to brutality, their hands calloused from wielding weapons of war, their minds hardened to the suffering of others. Yet even these battle-scarred veterans must have felt a flicker of unease as they nailed Jesus to the cross, as they divided his garments amongst themselves, as they watched him die a slow and agonizing death. For these soldiers, the crucifixion was just another task to be completed, another order to be obeyed. They could not have known that their actions on that day would reverberate through history, that they would be forever remembered as the unwitting participants in one of the most significant events in human history. The Gospels tell us that one of the soldiers, witnessing Jesus' composure in the face of death, declared truly this was the Son of God. It was a remarkable confession, a testament to the impact that even a brief encounter with Jesus could have on even the most hardened of hearts. Did this soldier's words sow seeds of doubt in the minds of his comrades? Did they too begin to question the nature of their actions, to see Jesus not as a common criminal, but as something more? We can only speculate, for history offers us only glimpses into the lives of these anonymous executioners. Their lives, like those of so many others touched by Jesus, were forever altered by that fateful day. They returned to their barracks, to their routines, but the memory of the crucifixion lingered, a haunting reminder of the day they played a role in the death of a god. The fates of these soldiers are shrouded in mystery. Some may have continued to serve in the Roman army, their lives forever marked by their actions on Calvary. Others may have sought solace in retirement, haunted by the echoes of that fateful day. Perhaps some, like the centurion who confessed Jesus' divinity, found a new path, their lives transformed by their encounter with the divine. Whatever their ultimate fate, their stories serve as a reminder that even the most ordinary of individuals can be swept up in events of extraordinary significance. The Roman soldiers, though largely forgotten by history, played a crucial role in the story of Jesus. Their actions, though dictated by duty and obedience, had consequences that rippled through time, shaping the course of history and the beliefs of billions. The stories of those who condemned Jesus, those who mocked him, those who betrayed him, and those who ultimately took his life offer a poignant reflection on the themes of justice, retribution, and the complexities of human nature. We are left to ponder the nature of their fates. Were they punished for their actions, or did they find redemption in the aftermath of the crucifixion? Did their encounters with Jesus, however brief and brutal, leave an indelible mark on their souls? The answers to these questions are lost to the mists of time, yet their stories continue to resonate with us today, reminding us that even the most powerful individuals are not above the reach of fate, and that even the most seemingly insignificant actions can have profound and lasting consequences. We are left to grapple with the weight of history, to confront the darkness and the light that resides within us all, and to ask ourselves, how would we have acted? If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like this video to help spread the word. Comment below with your thoughts and subscribe for more historical, biblical, and faith-based content.